Hey guys, welcome to day 26 of reading the Bible chronologically in a year. So we're continuing with the story with the book of Job, and we just heard from Job. He's continuing to basically say to the Lord, "Hey, I've done nothing wrong," and we are still hearing his friends telling him, "It's like, nope, you've clearly done something wrong," and God does not let he does not punish righteous people. He only punishes evil people. So it's been really interesting to hear, and there's some half truths from both parties, right? From Job and from his friends. So let's get into today, day 26. Job and his friends have theological beliefs that help them understand the issues of life. Job's theology, however, has collapsed under the weight of terrible suffering. His friends respond only add to the weight of their emotion and physical suffering that he already bears. He becomes defensive, bitter, and despondent. He contemplates the need for wisdom and searches for its source. Job resolves that God alone is the source of wisdom. As Job recalls the former days of blessing when he felt God's friendship, he remembers the honor he experienced as both old and young respected him. Those on the margin of life, the poor, the blind, the lame, the orphans, the widows, and strangers, received his care. His positions allowed him to thwart oppressors. Life was good for everyone connected to Job. Job's suffering changes all that. Those formerly blessed by Job became secondary sufferers of his suffering. One person's suffering can affect so many others. Man, that's so true. You think about it. How here in the U.S., how many of us are just afflicted and weighed down by life, and if we were truly just focus on the Lord and focus on his blessings and allow him to work through our lives, when we have those moments, and we've experienced it, right? We have those moments, and just his blessing it's not just for us, but it's for all the people around us. So, okay, let's get into it today. So Job's ninth speech, a response to Bildad. Job 26, 1 through 14. Then Job spoke again. How you have helped the powerless, how you have saved the weak, how you have enlightened my stupidity. What wise advice you have offered. Where have you gotten all these wise sayings, whose spirit speaks through you? The dead tremble, those who live beneath the waters. The underworld is naked in God's presence. The place of destruction is uncovered. God stretches the northern sky over empty space and hangs the earth on nothing. He wraps the rain in his thick clouds, and the clouds don't burst with the weight. He covers the faces of the moon, shrouding it with his clouds. He created the horizons when he separated the waters. He set the boundaries between day and night. The foundations of heaven tremble. They shudder at his rebuke. By his power the sea grew calm. By his skill he crushed the great sea monsters. His spirit made the heavens beautiful, and his power pierced the gliding serpent. These are just the beginning of all that he has done. Merely a whisper of his power. Who then can comprehend the thunder of his power? Job's final speech, Job 27, 1 to 23. Job continues speaking. I vow by the living God who has taken away my rights, by the Almighty who has embittered my soul. As long as I live, while I have breath from God, my lips will speak no evil, and my tongue will speak no less. I will never consider that you are right. I will defend my integrity until I die. I will maintain my innocence without wavering. My conscience is clear, for as long as I live. May my enemies be punished like the wicked. May my adversaries like those who do evil. For what hope do the godless have when God cuts them off and takes away their life? Will God listen to their cry? When trouble comes upon them, can they take delight in the Almighty? Can they call to God at any time? I will teach you about God's power. I will not conceal anything concerning the Almighty. But you have seen all this. Yet you say all these useless things to me. This is what the wicked will receive from God. This is their inheritance from the Almighty. They may have many children, but the children will die in war or starve to death. Those who survive will die of a plague, and not even their widows will mourn them. Evil people may have piles of money, and many store away mounds of clothing, but the righteous will wear the clothing, and the innocents will divide that money. The wicked builds houses as fragile as spiders' webs, as flimsy as shelters made of branches. The wicked go to bed rich, but wake up to find all their wealth is gone. Terror overwhelms like a flood, and they are blown away in the storm of the night. The east wind carries them away, and they are gone. It sweeps them away. It whirls down on them without mercy. They struggle to flee from its power, but everyone jeers at them and mocks them. Job speaks of wisdom and understanding. Job 28, 1 through 28. People where to mine silver and how to refine gold. They know where to dig iron from the earth and how to smelt copper from rock. They know how to shine light in the darkness and explore the farthest regions of the earth. As they search in the darkness for war, they sink a mine shaft into the earth, far from where anyone lives. They descend on ropes, swinging back and forth. Food is grown on the earth above, but down below the earth is melted as fire. Here the rock contains precious lapis lazuli and the dust containing gold. These are treasures no bird of prey can see, no falcon's eye observes. No wild animal has walked upon these treasures. No lion has ever set paw there. People know how to tear apart flinty rocks and overturn the roots of the mountains. They cut tunnels in the rocks and uncover precious stones. They dam up the trickling streams and bring to light the hidden treasures. But do people know where to find wisdom? Where can they find understanding? No one knows where to find it, for it is not found among the living. It is not here, says the ocean, nor is it here, says the sea. It cannot be bought with gold. It cannot be purchased with silver. It's worth more than all the gold or orphan, greater than precious onyx or lapis or lazuli. Wisdom is more valuable than gold and crystals. It cannot be purchased with jewels mounted in fine gold. Coral and jasper are worthless in trying to get it. The price of wisdom is far above rubies. Precious periods from Ethiopia cannot be exchanged for it. It's worth more than the purest gold. But do people know where to find wisdom? When can they find understanding? It is hidden from the eyes of humanity. Even the sharp-eyed birds in the sky cannot discover it. Destruction and death say, "We've heard only rumors of where wisdom can be found." God alone understands the ways to wisdom. He knows where it can be found, for he looks throughout the whole earth and sees everything under the heavens. He decided how hard the wind should blow and how much rain should fall. He made the laws for the rain and laid out the path for the lightning. Then he saw wisdom and evaluated it. He set it in place and examined it throughout thoroughly. And this is what he says to all humanity: the fear of the Lord is true wisdom. To forsake evil is real understanding. Job speaks of his former blessing. Job 29, 1 through 25. Job continues speaking. I long for my years gone by, when God took care of me. When he lit up the way before me, and I walked safely through the darkness. When I was in my prime, God's friendship was felt in my home. The Almighty was still with me, and my children were around me. My steps were awash in cream, and the rocks gushed olive oil to me. Those were the days when I went to the city gate and took my place among the honored leaders. The young stepped aside, and when they saw me, and even the aged rose in respect at my coming. The princes stood in silence and put their hands over their mouths. The highest officials of the city stood quietly, holding their tongues in respect. All who heard me praised me. All who saw me spoke well of me, for I assisted the poor in their need and the orphan who required help. I helped those without hope, and they blessed me. And I caused the widows' hearts to sing for joy. Everything I did was honest, righteous, covered me like a robe. Righteousness covered me like a robe, and I wore justice like a turban. I served as eyes for the blind and feet for the lame. I was a father to the poor and assisted strangers who needed help. I broke the jaws of godless oppressors and plucked their victims from their teeth. I thought, surely I will die surrounded by my family after a long, good life. For I am like a tree whose roots reach the water, whose branches are refreshed with the dew. New honors are constantly bestowed upon me, and my strength is continually renewed. Everyone is listening to my advice. They were silent as they waited for me to speak. And after I spoke, they had nothing to add, for my counsel satisfied them. They longed for me to speak as people long for rain. They drank my words like a refreshing spring water. When they were discouraged, I smiled at them. My look of approval was precious to them, like a chief. I told them what to do. I lived like a king among the troops and comfort those who mourned. It's neat to hear him kind of talk about all the blessings that he had, and obviously, for him to be even recorded in the Bible is one of the richest, most powerful men in the East. What he's speaking right here is more than likely true. But it makes me think sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until we actually lose it. I remember in times past when I've been sick or something, and I would have this prayer. I would say, Lord, after I get well from this, I will appreciate my body so much better. I will appreciate my legs. I will appreciate this so much better. And it's just neat to hear that, and even just kind of make you contemplate as far as like, what blessings from the past are we dismissing or taking for granted and not really appreciating nowadays? So, all right, guys, hope you guys are enjoying this. And with that being said, I will see y'all tomorrow.